investigative correspondent Patrick Terpstra. Of course, one of the major issues of the 2024 campaign was immigration. We've already seen the Trump administration signal what they plan to do on what is now day one. What can you tell us about their agenda?
Well, we heard that Trump today during his inaugural address talking about 10 different executive orders that he is going to sign today. But actually, when it comes to immigration, the thing making the most news at the moment seems to be the CBP One app being taken offline. And this is an app that DHS, Customs and Border Patrol had to schedule for anybody that was seeking an immigration or asylum appointment in the U.S. They could go to this app, and hundreds of thousands of people did. That app went offline as of noon Eastern time today, just as the new president was sworn in. And anybody that had an appointment on that app, that appointment was canceled. So we were seeing some images down in Mexico of people that had been waiting weeks and weeks, even months in some cases, for those appointments, just now finding out that those appointments have been canceled. In addition to the developments with that app, of those 10 executive orders, the one that is perhaps the biggest is the declaration of a national emergency with respect to immigration. President Trump saying that one of the orders will allow him to increase the military presence at the southwest border and resume construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall, something that President Biden has suspended. Also, new asylum restrictions and ending something known as birthright citizenship. This is guaranteed under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, but Trump says he will seek to make it so that children of immigrants who are unauthorized, they are not U.S. citizens, even if those children are born in the U.S. But this is something that is certainly going to be challenged by immigration advocacy groups, perhaps the ACLU, just as they did during the first Trump term, Andrew. So a lot of this is going to be playing out in the days and weeks ahead.
Yeah, we were just joined by an immigration lawyer who pointed that out. They said that is probably the #1 target for legal action, and it's going to play out in the courts. The other thing she said, which was interesting, is some of these actions require funding, and Congress isn't going to approve things overnight, at least not in her opinion. Any idea of how this could actually play out? A lot of this stuff actually needs money to happen, right?
It does, but the declaration of the national emergency means that the executive branch can actually use some of their authority to move some money around. We saw that in the first Trump term when some of the huge amounts of money that the Pentagon gets, the Trump administration was able to send some of that to the border. Perhaps we will see that again. But also important to point out, the Republicans do now have control of the Senate and the House. So you have to imagine that if the now President Trump picks up the phone and says, I need more money for X, Y, and Z at the border, that's likely to happen.
All right. I know you'll be watching it for us throughout the afternoon, days, weeks ahead. Patrick Terpstra, our investigative reporter. Thank you so much, Patrick.